Vitality, Nutrition, and Fitness here. Maddie and Scotty coming at you today. No Eric. But since we were together, we figured that we'd talk a little bit about our gut health journey and kind of what has helped us with that, kind of what we've learned, and hopefully share some of that information with you. So if anybody's struggling and in that same boat, then we want to help you out. Um, do you have anything specific, Scotty, that you want to start with, or did you kind of just want to start sharing your story a little bit?
I just figured maybe like go off some like both of us. I mean, I guess I'm newer to the gut health journey,
Mm-hmm.
whereas like Maddie's had a lot longer. Personally, mine started because I went overseas in 2023 and spent a month and a half in the UK. And for those who I guess are maybe outside of America, don't realize that our regulations and laws on food and administration, drug, whatever, it's not as clean as it is over there. So it's a lot cleaner in Europe to eat and have things. And so when I was over there, I was like, first week, like kind of cleaning out kind of thing, just based off of eating that stuff. And I was like really lean all of a sudden. Like normally here I have like a little bit of like, people get bloated, they puff up throughout the day. Like for Americans, we think that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out like it's not normal. Over there, I was very flat. Like my abs were showing like crazy. I was way more energetic. Um, I was able to stay up longer and go to sleep and like operate day to day without having as much sleep as I normally would. Like we'd literally go to bed at midnight and then wake up at like 5, 6 a.m. to get the day started again. Granted, like
Mm-hmm.
you're in Europe, you want to like try all these different things, but like even there, like I was able to eat like certain foods that like normally I don't eat here in America, and stuff. And so when I got back to the States, I got like really not like sick where I had to go to the hospital, but like I wasn't hungry all the time. Pretty much everything I ate made me feel bloated. My stomach would get rock hard and pushed out. I gained 15 pounds, I want to say, over the summer. And it wasn't muscle, I can tell you that much. It definitely was not muscle because I wasn't working out in the middle of the summer. I
Uh-huh.
took that off for work and I just felt sluggish and tired and kept getting sinus infections all the time and was very irritable. And like, I just didn't want to work out. I didn't want to do anything. It wasn't until fall that I started working back with my nutritionist and explaining things going on. And we started doing testing. And I kind of found out that like I couldn't eat certain things anymore because
Mm-hmm.
it just like didn't agree with my body. A big thing that I already knew before all this was I couldn't have gluten, but now I really couldn't have gluten or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
My sensitivity, like, we don't know if like me going over there just made it intensify more or what. But we're now on going on 2 years of still barely being able to eat any kind of food without getting bloated, constantly feeling tired and sluggish. Doesn't matter what I change to eat. I've tried pre and probiotics. I do the apple cider vinegar a day thing. I eat completely clean and whole foods. I don't eat junk food whatsoever. No candy. Like the closest thing that I'll have is probably like froyo, but even then, half the time it's like the sugar free or the gluten free or like the ones that people wouldn't go for.
Mm-hmm.
Like basically, like I'm a complete health nut who, quote unquote, most people would be like, you're just always dieting. You don't have balance. And just eating like clean whole foods with no breading or anything, if you will. I guess I don't know. Like I'm very strict. Like it's very high protein, high fats, and like vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just recently I started taking, which this isn't an ad or anything. I started taking Promix, Promix. They're a supplement company that's owned by several people, but one of them is I don't even remember his name. He's a huge influencer, and I follow him, but he's very clean, all natural, whole ingredients. Most of the stuff is all for all of his supplements is grown on his own farm down in Texas.
Oh, cool. That's
Um,
awesome.
Yeah, and so I started taking his pre and probiotic debloating thing because it has a lot of different other vitamins and minerals mixed in with that, and it's just a powder that you take in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I started being able to eat now like um potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice, and like that stuff wouldn't make me feel sick anymore now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like before I couldn't have like anything like that. Like my carbs, like I won't lie, were strictly coming from like veggies.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was eating nothing but like those. So I'd have to eat like a crap ton of veggies on every single meal and fruit, I guess too. I still do fruit, but I think having looking at the ingredients and taking it serious is what has helped me this far. And then now I'm kind of just interested to see where I go now. I don't know if anybody else has heard this. Maddie's finally got me onto it of the Viome,
Mm-hmm.
however you
Biome,
say
yeah.
it, Viome. Y'all should check it out because I think they're still having their sale.
Mm-hmm.
But Maddie did this a year ago.
Yep, I did it in February, and then I did it again just recently, like a month ago. Yeah, a few weeks ago.
So she kept telling me to do it. I refused and was just like, I'll wait, I'll see what you get for results and if it helps
Uh-huh.
you. But I finally have just like had enough of like, what is it? I'm like barely eating, if you will. Like I'm eating a crap ton of food, right? Like I'm eating over 3,000 some odd calories. But like to me, still, it's not like a lot, and not being able to enjoy certain things like other people are able to enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I still get so bloated for someone who eats so clean and strict
Mm-hmm.
that like I feel like it wasn't normal, wasn't natural, still feeling sluggy. I'm not getting good sleep according to my Whoop. Like, you know what I mean? Like all my metrics are always thrown off all the time. My migraines are more and more active again. Um, and like your whole body is connected with everything. So I finally caved and took it. Still waiting to get my results. But
Mm-hmm.
so that'll be like a gut health journey podcast part two for that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But I caved and did the overall body. So now we're getting the whole thing, the whole shebang.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to
Yep. So it
see.
tests. Yeah, I like that one a lot. I think people don't realize like your oral health, like how much that has to do with your digestion and stuff like that. And it's super closely linked. But I mean, there's just not a lot about it. So I think there's just a lack of knowledge and information about that kind of stuff. So it's super cool that they offer that because I think it is really helpful to a lot of people.
Well, I don't think like, right, it's normal girls to be like, oh, I'm bloated, or I have like PCOS, or I have one of the other ones that's out there. I know there's another
Mm-hmm.
one, and stuff, but I don't think there's a lot of, um, and there's not a lot of women that actually talk about it either. A lot of women try to hide it. I've only met a few
Mm-hmm.
influencers that I follow that talk about having it and their journey with it. Um, actually three major ones right now. But like not a lot of guys talk about that kind of stuff, right? Like it's so like, oh, keep it to yourself. No, you're just fat. That's normal. You're just getting
Mm-hmm.
a beer gut or something like that. Like they don't talk about this kind of stuff openly with people. Like it you know, like it's just not something that's common
Yep.
for us. And I think like personally, like our generation, being the younger ones of the groups, like we're kind of trying to make that more normal. Like we are talking about it with each other and stuff, which is making the older generations be like, well, yeah, like, you know, that's not normal. I guess I've been feeling like that
Mm-hmm.
too. Like I had a conversation with a chick that I work out with constantly, Carrie. She's old enough to be my mom, right? And she's doing my training program stuff, of course, based off of her level. But
Right.
she's always like, "Isn't that just normal? Are you sure you're bloated? Like, you're probably not going to get any results from this Viome thing." And I'm like, no, it's not normal. I know it's not normal because I felt different when I was overseas eating cleaner food with
Yeah.
stricter laws than I am here. Um, and like when I was a kid, I never had these issues.
Mm-hmm.
So I think hopefully this one will help somebody.
Yeah, I think that like nowadays it is so normalized and it's like, oh, you're bloated, well, you ate a big meal. Or where it's like, yeah, like that can happen, but those are like if you look back, I think about it like generationally or like our ancestors. Like you didn't look back in I don't even know, 300 years ago. Like they were eating whole foods, and there was a lot like less sickness and health issues and all
Mhm.
of this stuff. And it's like processed foods just got introduced like 100 years ago. So why are we blaming these whole foods like contributing to our problems that we've eaten for hundreds and thousands of years, and all of a sudden like then you resort to eating processed foods and all these healthy alternatives to make you feel better. It's like when those are the things that are causing the problems in the first place. um and I think a lot of people are like you're saying, like, oh well, I'm eating healthy, I'm eating whole foods, and I'm eating just fruits and vegetables and grains. And it's like, yeah, but our pesticides and our shit is so bad now. It's like, yeah, you could be just eating grains, right? But those could be sprayed with hundreds and thousands of things that it like is disrupting our gut microbiome, and it comes and manifests in so many different ways. And for me, I started this like 6 years ago, probably. So I've always had like digestive issues. I was born at 26 weeks, so I didn't have a third trimester. And so a lot of it stems from that, from just my intestinal tract not being fully developed. But it's like, okay, like great. Thanks for telling me that, but like what can I do to fix it? It's like I don't just want to know what's wrong. I want to know what's wrong and what I can do about it. And so once I finally like looked into like what I can do about it is when I for sure like started seeing a lot of results. But same thing, I was always bloated. I was like in class all the time, like in the afternoons, I would just fall asleep in like all my classes because I was like just crashed in the afternoon. I could get 10 hours of sleep, 5 hours of sleep, whatever, anything in between. And I would just like literally fall asleep in class all the time. And it was like, that's terrible. And my gas pains were so bad. I was always gassy, like all the time. My friends hated it. My roommates all did not like it because and my dad, he would make fun of me all the time. Like, oh my God, Maddie. But my acne was really, really bad. I had terrible cystic acne for a long time. And they were like, okay, well, go on Accutane and do this. And it's like, yeah, go on spironolactone. It's like, but that's not where it's coming from. Like, yeah, it's manifesting as skin or bloating or brain fog or fatigue or all of these things, but it's like, what's the root cause of it? Like, what's it connected to? And so finally, like a year and a half ago, I really like dove into it a lot more. And so I started by doing an elimination diet, which is something that if you're struggling with gut health, I would totally recommend to anybody doing it. For 2 weeks, the only thing I ate, it was red meat, water, and salt. And don't get me wrong, it was not very fun. Like I literally ate hamburger patties all the time. And I'm not saying it has to be just red meat, but pick something that that's like a whole food, not like processed meat, not, oh, I know that broccoli doesn't hurt my stomach, like a meat, a good healthy source of like what you're going to get vitamins, minerals, and all that stuff. And try and eat that like a week, 2 weeks, and see how you feel. And my, I don't know if, I mean, I'm sure other women struggle with this too. My period was really irregular. I didn't get it for like 9 months, and I did the elimination diet. And day that I finished it, the 2 weeks, like was up 2 weeks, I got it the next day. I hadn't gotten it in 9 or 10 months. And so a lot of it, yeah, like I was like, okay, well, that wow, that is crazy. Like, and I have been telling my mom for like so long. I remember I was like, Mom, like something is wrong. And I got allergy tests done, and I got a colonoscopy and an endoscopy, and they were like, nope, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. And I was like, but I'm not. Like, you could you just trust your instinct,
Mhm.
trust your gut. Like,
Yep.
you know when something's off and when you're not okay. But yeah, so same with you now. Like, I just eat whole foods. I'm not saying I never eat anything processed, because we all like
Yeah.
we all eat something, whatever. But I would say 95% of the time I eat meat, fruit. I don't eat a I eat some vegetables. I'm kind of cautious on which ones I do eat, but I love arugula. Like I love arugula a lot. I eat a
Mhm.
lot of like Brussels sprouts, mm, bell peppers, mushrooms, stuff like that. And then a lot of fruit. I eat like tons of fruit, pineapple, blueberries, strawberries, kiwi, you name it. I probably have it in my house. And that's what I've eaten now for probably the last like 8, 9 months. And it has definitely helped me a lot. And adding a lot of not even prebiotic like supplements, but pre and
Yeah.
probiotics like avocado, and I eat sauerkraut almost probably
Okay.
I don't know, 4 times a week. But adding food like kombucha, I drink a ton. Eric makes fun of me all the time because I drink so much kombucha. But adding like things like that helped me a ton. And the timing of my meals, I think, have helped a lot too. So not
Yes.
only what you're eating, but I'm not gonna eat at 6 a.m. one day and then 11 a.m. the next day. It's like it's always a constant schedule, like regulated schedule.
Yep. Same.
Um, and I think that's super important. But I don't know. I feel like I could go and talk about this forever, but I don't want to talk anybody's ears off, and
Oh,
whatever.
that's what we got more parts for.
Yeah, yeah, true. We'll do more parts. But I think that if I were to give anybody advice on like who if you're dealing with gut issues and you kind of notice things that you feel like in yourself, that they're not right. Um yeah, like look into gut health for sure because it plays a major factor. I would say go on an elimination diet, try that. And so after the 2 weeks was up, then I added like one food group at a time. So I added fruits like pineapple. What else did I do? Pineapple and berries, I think, is what I added next. And I just had my meat, whatever. And then, oh, and I had honey. So then I ate honey and then pineapple, berries, stuff like that. And just kept slowly adding things back. And now I can eat gluten again. I choose not to just because I feel better without it. But
Yeah.
like if I am out to dinner and my friend's it's birthday or whatever, and Maddie, have a bite of cake. Like before I'd be like, oh my gosh, no, I can't have that. But I'm like, okay, I'll have a bite of cake. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's just something like
lucky.
that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So it gets better and it also takes time. I think I would also say like you have to be very, very
Yeah.
patient. That biome test you were just talking about. So like Scotty said, I did the first test in February and my gut health came back with like 14 bad scores. I had one good score, I think, and it was like it was in the red. I think I was at like a 13 out of 100 or something. It was terrible.
Okay.
Um, and so I've been really focusing on it this last 8 months, whatever. And I did it again, like what, 2 or 3 weeks ago? I don't know, something like that. And it came back. I was in the green and I was at 55 and I had 8 good scores. I didn't have any bad scores and then a bunch of average ones. And
Yay.
so but it took me
That
eight
long.
months. Like it takes like 6 months to a year to see results about it. So I would say, yeah, just be patient. Um, Trust what your body's trying to tell you. If you have symptoms like Scotty and I have described, then you should take it seriously and look into it because it's real, unfortunately.
Hmm.
And it affects a lot of our population.
Oh, for sure. A hundred
Yeah.
percent. Uh, I totally didn't even think about what it was called, but I definitely started with the elimination diet. Like that's what me and
Mm-hmm.
my nutritionist before I started using our own
Yep.
stuff. They told me to start like removing food. So I went on basically like a ketogenic thing and
Mm-hmm.
went pretty much just all meat and then like some veggies because I'm still a picky eater. I was picky with fast food too. So like there's junk food I won't even touch as a kid. But
Mm-hmm.
so I only eat certain things. But now like even though I hadn't done the Viome thing, just from the certain stuff that I have done to taking my health serious, like I've added certain things. I yet to be able to have any gluten. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully one day, because not that I need it or want it or crave it or anything like that, but to be able to be like, yeah, we can have something different than an ice cream cake would be totally
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Yeah.
Um, a couple of things that I did look up just in case so people can know, especially for guys or girls, um, if you're struggling with, because guys, you can have this issue too, and you should get checked because the older you get, the lower your testosterone and your other hormones and everything go. is this link tree. If I find the name, I'll put it in part two of Gut Health Journey. But these are all things that lead back to your gut health, which Maddie earlier said is like your second brain. So hormone balance, digestion, skin clarity, nutrient absorption, your metabolic health, your mental health, your brain's health, and your immune's health.
Yep.
So those are
Yeah, if you're
all
getting sick a
things.
lot, if you're crashing all the time, what else?
Brain fog,
Brain fog, a lot
headaches.
of depression, unfortunately, is linked to gut
Yep,
health, which I think people don't you uh a lot of people just think like, oh, I have depression, let's have medication and like
oh my God,
get rid of it, but it's like actually those antibiotics and that medication are actually just making it worse because it's making
worse.
your gut worse, and your gut is linked to your mental health. And so it's a really hard route to go through, but I think that if you can address that, yeah, gut health standpoint, then mental health is significantly better.
That's literally a conversation I had last night with one of my best friends, which
Is
hopefully
it?
he doesn't hate me for saying this, but he was talking about being his doctor switching him to a new antidepressant,
Yep.
anti-anxiety, ADHD. Like I have severe ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
I will bounce off the walls. I'll stay up all night. It gets me. So I take like, all natural sleeping medications. I've scoured the earth for that stuff. The cleanest one I have found is either straight melatonin itself in the liquid form or just the bulletproof gummies because they don't have the extra nasty oils and all that stuff in it. Um, but I was telling him, I was like, if you just like to plug our own company, obviously I said sign up with us, but I was like, if you really seriously just took your nutrition serious, because he's gained a ton of weight, even though I still love him, but I was like, if you just took your weight serious, kind of went into the gym to get a little working out going, ate properly. I'm not saying you have to cut out all of your foods, right? Like have a
Mm-hmm.
balance in between things, because I know you like your treats, but like
Yep.
have a little bit more balance and stuff. You wouldn't need these medications.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't take any medications anymore. I barely even take any kinds of supplements either.
Yep, me neither. Yeah, I take vitamin D and zinc, and then progesterone for PCOS, but that's that's it.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
I just, a lot of people need to realize that, and which I wish, like, honestly, this is something I wish I would have been told as a teenager because I used to be a skinny kid and then all of a sudden gained a crap ton of weight as I got older. Like, granted, that was from medication on my ADHD stuff. Any of you that take Concerta, get off of it now because it prevents you from being hungry, it prevents you from eating, and the side effect is not gaining the proper amount of fat that you're supposed to as you get older. So I got off of it in middle school, right when you're going through puberty stages of life. And oh, hello, kitty. And I gained like all of it back right then and there. So I had to spend seventh grade to freshman year of high school losing it all.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, I had my car accident at 17, my summer before going into my senior year, which should have killed me. Thankfully, somehow I survived. The car did not. But because of that, I got out of sports, was injured, and just did the whole poor me thing and ate like crap. And I gained it all back.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, medications, man, they lead to a lot of different things that people don't realize, especially here in
Yep,
America, because that's like our solution to everything.
for sure. And
Is
it's like, I think that people, once you get, it's like, okay, this dosage of the medication isn't working. Instead of getting off of it, we just get a higher dosage. And it just kind of makes it worse and worse and worse. But
or they pile it
yeah.
on. That's what happened
Yep.
with me with my ADHD. They're like,
Yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah. This is giving you this symptom. Well, now let me give you something to mask this symptom. And then you get something else. And it's like, oh, well, now you're getting this. Let me give you something
mm-hmm,
for that. Yeah. And it piles on. Yep.
nope, 100%. So it's all a journey. Obviously, we'll keep you guys updated with ours. Maddie mentioned a little bit that she finally, her PCOS, which is something that she told me recently. She just got diagnosed with. So,
Yeah. Which I
um,
think that so often people use stuff like that as an excuse. It's good to know like what's wrong so how you can fix it, not use it as like a, oh well, I have this so it's an excuse for me to gain weight, or I have this so it's okay that I'm diabetic and stuff like that. And it's like, well, no,
yeah.
it's not. But yeah, so yeah. I think we said a lot, but hopefully there's something in there that caught your ear and helps somebody out there. Because I wish that I knew more about it going into it when I first started
Same.
too.
So,
Sweet.
yeah. Well, if you
Well,
guys like that, go ahead and subscribe. Follow us on all of our media platforms because we're obviously going to do more parts and talk a little bit more about that. And each of us will probably share stuff on our own individual pages.
hmm
And if you have any topic ideas, go ahead and comment them down below.
sweet. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Did you get it?
Yeah, I'm getting there. It's harder on a phone because it's so much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want to make sure it saves, which it should.